Welcome to the Advanced Studio. Today I'm making this spiral balloon column without using a balloon stand. This is a great beginner-friendly project, and to make it you'll need an electric balloon inflator as well as a balloon sizer box. To start off, you're going to take a teal 11-inch balloon and inflate it till it's nearly its full size. Then we need to size this down to 8 inches in diameter using the sizer box. Gently press the balloon against the 8-inch hole in the sizer box and slowly let out of the balloon until it just fits through the hole. Pull it back out, and then we're going to tie the nozzle in a knot by wrapping it around our fingers and pressing the nozzle right against our fingers through the loop we've created, and that will tie the nozzle in a knot. Make a second balloon in the exact same way, and then we're going to tie these together into a pair. Stretch the nozzle out and wrap them around each other twice, and then tie the tail ends of those nozzles together in a knot. This will create our first pair of teal balloons. Next, I'm going to take two 11-inch pink balloons and create another pair. A faster way to make a pair is to inflate both of these balloons at the same time, size them to 8 inches just like we did the last pair, but instead of tying the nozzles off individually, we're going to take both of the balloons, stretch the nozzle tight, wrap them around each other twice, and then tie the nozzles in a knot. So instead of tying 3 knots per pair, we're only tying a single knot, saving us a ton of time. Now I'm going to take my pink and teal pair and join them together into a quad by overlapping the nozzles so that they touch, and then twisting one balloon from each of the pairs around each other, locking them into that quad. Arrange the balloons so that the colors alternate, and then repeat these steps until you have 9 quads ready to be made into a column. To give our design some stability, I'm using 2 balloon weights. I'm going to tie these together using the loops at the top of the weights with some curling ribbon. Now you could also use fishing line if you prefer, but I'm using this pink curling ribbon so it'll disappear into the design. Thread the end of the curling ribbon through the loops of those 2 weights and tie them together in a double knot. I'll be leaving the ribbon attached to the spool. That way we can only unwind as much as we need, and it'll be less likely to get tangled. The weights in the curling ribbon will be how we not only join our balloons together, but also give it stability in the place of using a stand. Take your first balloon quad and set it flat on a table. Then nestle the balloon weights right up against the nozzles of that quad, so the weights are sitting underneath the balloons, but the ribbon is pulled up through the center. You want to pull this ribbon nice and snug so that the weights sit right against those balloons. To secure the weights to the quad, you're going to take your ribbon and wrap it under one of the pink balloons, back up to the center, and then go across and wrap it under the opposite pink balloon, and back up to the center in a figure-8 pattern. Now you're going to take another quad and set it right on top of our first one on the table, making sure the pink balloon of this quad is rotated clockwise so it sits just to the left of the pink balloon below it when you look at the column from the side. Gently press down on this quad so that the balloons are all nestled together, then pull the ribbon up through the center and wrap it around the pink balloons of this quad in a figure-8 pattern. It's important to pull gentle tension on the ribbon between the balloons as we wrap it around, because it's that tension between layers that will keep our column standing upright. Take the third quad and set it on top, making sure your pink balloon is rotated clockwise so it sits one spot left of the pink balloon below it. Press down on this quad and then wrap the ribbon around the 2 pink balloons, making sure everything is nice and snug. At this point, you can begin to see the spiral forming up the column. I set the column on the floor and then continued to add quads in the same fashion until I had 9 of them all secured together. If you'd like to have some written directions to reference while you're building this column, I have a set of plans available linked in the description box below with full color illustrations, step-by-step instructions, as well as a complete supply list. Once you get the last quad attached to the top of the column, you're going to unspool a little bit of extra ribbon, take a pair of scissors, and cut the spool free. Next, we need to prepare the show-stopping piece that sits on top of our column. Now that could be a spray of 260s, a foil balloon, or like I'm using today, a 24-inch latex balloon. I'm going to inflate this balloon until it's nearly its full size, and if it ends up being a little pear-shaped, you can press it against the table and roll it around, and that'll make it more spherical. Stretch the nozzle out and tie it in a knot just like we did our other balloons. Now it's time to attach our giant balloon to the top of the column. I'm going to take the nozzle of our 24-inch balloon and tie it to one of the nozzles of that topmost quad with a double knot. Finally, you're going to take the end of that curling ribbon and secure it to those topmost balloons, either by wrapping it back and forth around them several times or tying it in a double knot. Take a pair of scissors and trim away any excess, and this column is ready for a party or event where you don't have to go back and pick up the stand after it's over. If you enjoyed today's project, you should check out this video. And until the next time, remember, stay creative, everybody!